Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 2 of MS Access course. In this lesson we will talk about some data types, like how we can assign yes no data type, OLE objects data type and hyperlink data type, how we can set this thing. And in the second topic we will learn how we can create link with different table from different data sources. For an example, table of MS Access from different database or table from some other Excel files. This thing we will cover in this section, and later in this section we will talk about relationship. What kind of relationship, different kind of relationship we can set between the setup between the tables. So everyone, let's start with this yes no option. How we can set data type as yes no in MS Access. Okay, so let me jump to my same database, and in this database this is my employee database, and in this database in the lesson 1 we created two tables. One is my employee personal detail and second is my project detail table. If I open my employee personal details table, here you can see all the records belongs to employee personal details table, and this is my project details table. Okay, now let's say there is some situation where we want to add my data type as a yes no or on and off or true false. Okay, in that case we can assign data type as yes no. Let's pick the example of here we can see email ID, address, region and project ID of each employee personal records. Okay, and in my project detail table, if I jump, and in this table we can see project ID, project name and project manager. Now let's say I want to create one more field here where I want to give one check. In that check I will give user option to check that this manager is working from on-site or not. Okay, so that check is for on-site or off-site. So to add one more data field, what I will do, I will right click on this database and jump to the design view. Here I will apply on-site. So this is my on-site is my field name, and in this data type box I will select this yes no option. Okay, so what will happen if I select this yes no option? Okay, now if I save this database and open in datasheet view, we can see this checkbox for each record. So for an example, if I say yes for my Rob is working from on-site, David is also working from on-site. Okay, Harry is not working from on-site, Harry and Rob is working from on-site. Okay, so this is how we can create checkboxes as a data type for each record in MS Access. Right click, go to design view. Let's explore some other formats also of yes no data type. If I jump to the field property section, here you can see formats yes no. With yes no we have two more options. One is true false. You can also select this, and then on and off. So these three are my yes no rules, yes no data types rules, and one of them I can use as per my data type field. So for my data type field on site, yes no makes more sense compared to the true false and on and off. Okay guys, so this is one thing. Now next is, if I jump to my PPT, here we can see next is my OLE object. By OLE object it means my field can contain any documents such as images, text or Microsoft Word file or Excel files. Okay, so I can hold any OLE object if I assign my data type as OLE object. Okay, to assign your data type as OLE object, you have to simply click on this drop down, and here you can see this OLE objects option. Once you select this option, that means you can hold now any text file, Excel file or images. Let me just change this into the yes no here. This is my OLE object option. And then we have for hyperlink. Okay, we can set our data type as hyperlink also. To set any data type as a hyperlink, for an example, let's say my employee table also holds information, or let's say URL of where we have updated the employee details. Okay, employee page URL also. Let's say for each employee personal records, we create one page on our website, on our company portal. Now what I want to do, I also want to share the link of that portal. So I will open this in design view, jump here, and let's say web link. Well, web link is my header, field header, and then we have data type as hyperlink. Where is hyperlink? Here is hyperlink. Okay, then save this, open this in datasheet view, and jump to here, this web link section. And now if I try to add any web link for the Kara employee, Kara Smith is my first employee, and if I try to add, let's say www. You can see what actually MS Access do. MS Access automatically change this text into hyperlink. Okay, so this is how we can write. Let's see, google.com. So this is my hyperlink now. Okay, now if I click this, my MS Access application will open this website. So guys, we can select data type as yes, no, OLE object or hyperlink based on our process. This is one thing. Now second thing, link table. We can link our existing table with multiple tables in MS Access. Okay, by tables, by linking tables, I mean we can link our table from the other data sources also. Let's say one of my table is in another database, and I want to link my employee table with the other database, and any table of the other database. Yes, we can do that. How we can do this? Let me just show you how we can perform this thing. For that, let me just close my existing table from this database employee. Right click and close my project detail table. Yes, then close this employee personal detail table also. Okay, now to create the linked table, let me jump to the external data, and here you can see multiple Excel, Access, text file, XML. From any of the table you can link your table. I want to create link with the MS Access database table, and that MS Access database is, okay, once you click on this MS Access option under external data tab, here you can see two radio button. One is import tables, second is link to the data source by creating a link table. So this option I will select here, then select your file from the browse button, and that file I have placed at this location, not this one. Where is my SQL Server database? Let me just write name here, employee. It's not here, no problem. Me just, okay, it's in MS Access folder, and here is my employee.accdb database. Now if I click open, and here is the complete address of my employee accdb database, and I want to link one of the table of employee accdb database, which is actually my current database, but I want to link my current database table with this table. Now if I click OK, here you can see link tables dialog box. In this link table dialog box, if I say okay, create link with employee personal details table, create link of employee personal detail table with employee personal details table, because this is selected right now when we have created the link. If I click OK, Excel will automatically create, not Excel, Access will automatically create this link table. And if I open this table now, here you can see all the record belongs to my employee personal details table. Everyone. Now if I delete any of the record, let's say I delete this Harry record, select your entire data and right click, go delete record. Yes, You are about to delete one records. If you click yes, you won't be able to undo this delete operation. No problem in that case. Let me click yes. Now if I open my personal details, this table, link table, and if I check the fifth record which we have just deleted from the link table, you can see there is no, right click and open, no fifth record in this table also. So whatever task we perform in a link table, MS Success reflect the same in the table which we have just linked with our new table. Okay, so this is our link concept, guys. Let me explain you again what all we have performed here. What we did in starting, we created one link table. How we have created this? Jump to the external data, select the type of file. Here mine is MS Access, so I will select MS Access. Then select this option, link to the data source by creating a link table. Browse your location. This is my Access database, and then click OK. Then select your file from here and click OK. So here you can see now two link tables. Okay, this is my link table concept. Let me just delete these two files from here and jump to my third concept of the lesson 2. My third concept of lesson 2 is setting up relationship. Okay, we have already talked a lot about this relationship thing in our lesson 1, that in any of the database, when we start designing database, we create multiple tables. For an example, in this database, you can see my one table is of employee personal details and second table is of project details. If I open both the tables, you can see records belongs to both the tables. So what we do in database, we create multiple tables, then we set up the relationship between multiple tables. Okay, so in MS Access, we can set up different types of, we have different options to set up the relationship between tables. We can set up one-to-many, we can set up one-to-one, we can set up many-to-many relationship. What is one-to-one, what is one-to-many, and what is many-to-many relationship, which this thing we will discuss now. Okay, to set up the relationship, what we have covered in our lesson 1, what we discussed, that we will jump to the data tools tab and then we will click on this relationship panel. Once we click on this relationship panel, you can see your two tables here, employee personal details, project tables. If you are not able to see these two details in this section, simply click on the show tables and then you can select one by one and add in this area, gray area, your two tables. Let me just close my two existing table. Now guys, what we want to do, what kind of relationship we want to set up between these two tables. Here you can see in my employee detail tables, we have field employee ID, first name, last name, email ID, address, region, project ID and web link. Okay, and project detail information we have in this table. I have project ID information here and I want to set up the relationship so that if people do some changes in this project details table, I want to reflect the same in this employee personal detail table also, so that in future if I extract employee ID and first name of employee with project name, I can easily and so that I can fetch easily it and fetch the accurate data also. Okay, so to set up the relationship between my project ID of this table and the project ID of this table, I will simply drag this and drag in this area. Okay, so when we drag our fields from one table to another table in the relationship section, what MS Access do? MS Access open this edit relationship dialog box. Edit relationship dialog box. In this edit relationship dialog box, you can see two sections. One is table query and second is related table. Table query is from which table you are setting up the relationship. I am setting up the relationship from my project details table. So in this section you can see project detail table and the field name is project ID. Okay, that makes sense. So this is my left hand side table. And then we have related table query. Okay, I want to set up the relationship of my project detail table with project employee personal details table. So this is my employee personal detail table on my right hand side. On my left hand side we can see project details table, and the common field between two tables is project ID and project ID. If you select any other field, so that means program will create the relationship based on that field. Here my common field is project ID, so I will select this. This thing we take care here. Okay, now Once we select our fields in this section, what next we do? Everyone. Next, we can see this enforce referential integrity checkbox. We click on this checkbox to set up the relationship. What does this mean by, what does this program mean by enforce referential integrity? Okay, so when we click on the checkbox enforce referential integrity, it applies some rules between these two tables. Rules like, this is my project details table, this is my employee table. Okay, for an example, in my project details table I have project ID from 1 to 5, and in my employee personal detail, while updating any record or inserting new record of any employee, I try to update project ID which are not available in this project detail tables. Let's say 7, project ID is 7, but in project detail table we have a list from 1 to 5. Program will not accept it. So this is one of the rule of this referential integrity. Program look for the referential integrity between two tables and then accordingly accept the value. Let me share rules with you. Okay everyone, so my first rule is you cannot enter a value in the foreign key field of a related table if that value does not exist in the primary key field of your primary table. So this is the very first example which we have just discussed. What program will do, if I enforce referential integrity, program will not accept any value in this project ID field. Here project ID field will act as a foreign key field. Program will not accept any value in this foreign key field which is not a part of the primary key field of my project details table. This project ID is my primary key field of project details table. Okay, and here if we have a project ID from 1 to 5, and if I try to update, let's say, other values than 5 between 1 to 5, program will not accept it. So in that case, my project ID from my employee table is a primary key field, and project ID from my project detail table will act as an foreign. Sorry, let me repeat this. Project ID from employee personal details table will act as an foreign key field, and project ID from my project details table will act as an primary key field. This is the one rule of my enforce referential integrity. Second rule is you cannot delete a record from a primary table if matching records existing in the related table. Okay, this means, let's say in my current table, let me open this table and this one also. You can see I have project ID 2, 3, 4, 5 project IDs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have some records also belongs to project ID 2, 4, 3, 5, 5. If I try to delete this, once I set up the relationship between these two tables, and if I try to delete this fourth record from my project detail table, program will not allow this. The reason behind this is because we have already few records belongs to, the second record belongs to my project ID 4. Okay, so this is the second rule. Program will not delete the rows record from my project details table from my primary table. Okay, here my project detail table is a primary table because here my project ID is a primary key field, and this is my foreign table because here project ID will act as a foreign key field. So program will not allow me to delete this row because we already have some records in this table. If I delete this record, program will accept this. Or if you want to take care of this situation, we have one option. For an example, you cannot delete a record from your primary table if matching records existing in your related table. This is one thing. You can choose to delete a primary record and all related record in one operation by selecting the cascade deleted records checkbox. So when we set up the relationship in MS Access, let me drag here again, and here you can see below, you can see this option below enforce referential integrity, this option which is cascade updated related fields and cascade delete related records. So you can click on this checkbox and program will take care of that. Cascade delete records checkbox. So if I click on this checkbox, my cascade delete checkbox, and if I hit create, so in that case, yes, I can delete if I delete any record from this table, from a project detail table, in that case program will delete that record from my employee personal detail table also. Okay, so this is my third option. Now this is my second rule also. Then we have third rule. Third rule is you cannot change a primary key value in the primary table. If doing so, you would create an orphan record. Okay, by this orphan record means in my database we have here project ID as 4, and in my project detail table if I try to edit this project ID 4 as 6, program will not allow me. Okay, program will not allow me, and if I do this, this record will become a orphan record because this record will not follow the enforce referential integrity rules. Okay, but still if you want to support this, in that case you can select cascade update related fields checkbox. Here you can see, if I jump to my PPT again, not PPT, my database under relationship, and if I create the relationship, you can see this cascade update related field checkbox. If I click on this, in that case, yes, you can change the value of your left hand side table, which is my project details table, compared to the right hand side tables, and program will allow that. This is one thing, guys. Okay, now if what I am doing here is I am only enforcing one referential integrity rule with these are my 3 rules of referential integrity: foreign key rule, and then primary table matching records rule, and primary table, this is for delete, this is for update. Okay, now if I click create, edit the relationship, and here you can see relationship type is one to many. If I click create, okay, let me just close these 2 tables first. Now drag here, enforce referential integrity, and create. So when I create the relationship between my edit project details table and employee personal details, you can see one icon here, one as a value here and infinity value here. This means one, this means many, and this is my one to many relationship. What does this mean by one to many relationship? This means your project ID can have many values in your employee personal details. That means your employee personal details, one employee can have multiple project IDs. Okay, one project or let me clear this again. Your one project ID can be assigned to the multiple employees. So this is this is the correct definition of one to many relationship here. Your one project ID can be assigned to the multiple employees here. Correct. But we can assign one project ID to the one project only. This one means here. So this is, guys, one to many relationship. Okay. Now next thing, what we will cover here? We will cover here, when we set up the relationship between tables, we also select the what kind of join type we want to create between tables. Okay, let me right click on this arrow to edit this relationship. Right click and go to edit. Here you can see one to many. This is the relationship one to many, and here you can see join type option. If I click on this join type, you can see 3 options here. Option 1 is only include rows where the join fields from both the tables are equal. Then we have second rule, include all records from project detail table and only those records from the employee personal detail table where the join fields are equal. Okay, this means here if you check in my edit relationship box, my project detail table is on left hand side and my employee personal detail table is on right hand side. If I select this option, join type as only include records where the fields from both the tables are equal, that means this join type is an inner join. Only hold matching record between these two tables. Okay, so this join type will hold the matching record between these two tables. If I select this option, include all the records from project detail tables, all the records from project detail table and matching records from between my project detail and employee personal detail table. So this join type is my left join, and left join means all the record from my left hand side table plus matching record between my left hand side and right hand side table. So this is type 2. Then we have type 3 also. Type 3 is my right join. Right join means all the record from my employee personal details, all the record from my employee personal detail plus matching records between my left hand side and right hand side. Okay, so based on the data between your tables, you select the join types. This is inner, this is left, this is right, and I will select here inner join and then click OK, and this will set up the relationship between table. Now let me just show you all the 3 rules one by one of my referential rules of enforce referential integrity. And here we have defined inner join, left outer join and right outer join thing. Let's come here and check this rule. As we have already set up the relationship between my employee personal details and project details table. Now let me just close this relationship tab. Yes, we want to save this. And let me just open my employee personal detail. Okay, this thing, and employee personal detail table also, personal detail tables also. Okay, now everyone, let's jump to the PPT and check very first rule. You cannot enter a value in your foreign key field related table if that value does not exist in your primary key field. Okay, now in this table my foreign key field is primary ID from employee personal details table, and from project details table here we can see 1 2 3 4 5, only 1 2 3 4 5 value. If I try to add new record, let's say 8, and this belongs to Dev Raj, and the email ID of Dev Raj is t@xyz.com, and the name address is XYZ, belongs to North region, and project ID is 7, and try to come here. Program will not accept it. You cannot add or change a record because a related record is required in table project details table. So this is our rule number 1. Okay, so program will accept only the, if I enter here 5, program will accept it. See, so this is my rule number 1 of enforce referential integrity. Now let's jump and explore the second rule. My second rule is you cannot delete a record from your primary table if matching record exists in the related table. You cannot delete record from my primary table, everyone. And in this program my primary table is my project detail tables, because here project underscore ID act as a primary key field and project ID from my employee personal detail table act as a foreign key field. So this is my foreign field table and this is my primary field. Here you can see 2 4 3 5 5 and 5 as a value. Now if I try to update second record, this field, if I try to delete, but still we have project ID 2 record and we have set up the relationship between employee personal detail and project detail. If I try to delete this, right click and delete, the record cannot be deleted or changed because employee table personal detail includes related records. So this is rule number 2. Program will not allow me to delete this record because we already have related records in this table. Okay, everyone, let me just close this and edit my relationship now, because we have already discussed this thing. If you want to allow this thing, we can click on the checkbox which is cascade delete related records. Correct. So now let's jump to the relationship. Let me close this and close this table also. Jump to the relationship and edit this relationship with this checkbox which is cascade delete related records, and click OK. And now let's test that. Open your this table, open your project details table also. Here if I try to delete this record, and here you can see we have only one record, belongs to Kara, where project ID is 2. If I try to delete this record, right click and delete. Okay, relationship that specify cascading deletes are about to cause one record in this table along with the related records in the related table. If I click yes, I want to perform this. So see, record 2 deleted from this table. If I jump to this table, one of the record is also deleted from this table. So this record is also deleted from this table. So this option we can select when we click on the checkbox cascade deleted records. Okay everyone, now let's test the rule number 3. Rule number 3 is you cannot change a primary key value in the primary table. If doing so would create orphan records. Okay, by this it means we have, this is my table. Let me just close this and close this one also, open them again so that we can see no deleted records here. Now you can see here we have 1, 3, 4 and 5 project IDs, and here is 4, 3, 5, 5, 3, 5. Now if I try to edit this 4 as 7, program won't allow me because we already have assigned 4th record to John Miller. If I try to add this as 7, program will not allow me. See, record cannot be deleted or changed because table personal records includes related records. Okay, if you want to give this access to user and accordingly you want to reflect the same change in your table, here in this table also, what you can do, in your edit relationship you can select this option which is cascade update related fields. So program will reflect the same in the related field also. Let me just show you. Click OK. OK, yes. The database engine could not lock table because okay, so it's already in use, so program is not allowing me. So let me just close these two tables first to reflect the same. Now right click, edit, cascade updated related fields, click OK, jump to your personal field, jump to your project details. Let me close this relationship, right click and close. And here let me change this 4 as 7. Everyone see, if I change this 4, let me just show you here. We have a 4th record, very first record is 4th. If I change here 4 as 7, what program will do? And come to this employee personal details. Here see, now my program, my project ID 4 becomes 7. So we can use two options below my cascade enforce referential integrity option, cascade updated records and cascade deleted records. Okay, so everyone, this is how we set up the relationship, and setting up the relationship is very important. Okay, because when we design a database, we create multiple tables, and to link all the tables, to fetch the records from all the tables, we set up the relationship. Okay, and when we set up the relationship, that relationship have number of options. Do we want to set up one-to-one relationship? Do we want to set up one-to-many or many-to-many? Okay, and when we set up the relationship, what all rules the relationship applies between two tables? And these 3 rules we have just discussed here. So guys, in this lesson we have covered these 3 topics. Very first topic was about data types. One is yes no, second is OLE objects, and third is hyperlink. Second topic we have covered in this lesson is link table, how we can link one table to the another table, and then how we can set up the relationship between table. Okay, thank you everyone.